Do you have any liberal friends who you talk to about this?
I don't.
If you met a liberal at a diner and were talking to the liberal, what would you want to convince them of most?
That they should vote for Trump. That, he's going to be the reason that this country turns back around and we get back on our feet again like we were when he was in office.
Presumably that liberal thinks that we are back on our feet and things are going okay now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit harder to convince them, but I believe that, the more people who vote for Trump, the better chance that we have to see a change in this country again.
Is there anything they could convince you of? Any one thing?
Oh, not at all.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and TYT's Michael Shure has interviewed some of the dumbest people outside of Trump rallies. The Trump faithful come from miles around, dressed to the hilt in MAGA clothing, just to catch a glimpse of their orange Lord and Savior in person.
What do you think is the cause of the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War?
Well, I think the Democrats are pushing the race issue extremely far. I had a black man at my door the other day. I don't have an issue with race, but they're making it such a big issue. They're making it, just even with this Claudia Gay, that she was asked to resign from this college in Harvard. It's not a race issue, but they're making it that, and I don't agree with that.
What about the Civil War in the 1800s? What do you think was the cause of that?
Oh, yeah, that was slavery, wasn't it?
Seems that way.
Michael Shure's no-nonsense, fact-based questioning seems to frustrate the folks that he's interviewing. There is a huge difference between fact-based reporting and opinion-based news.
What was the cause of the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War in the 1800s?
What was the cause of the Civil War?
What do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
I don't know.
What would you say is the cause of the Civil War?
The Civil War? What caused the Civil War? They mostly, I'm thinking of the first war when we became Americans.
And then we had a Civil War. What do you think caused our Civil War?
Sin, I suppose, There was something evil. Mankind is hard on each other, man. Yeah.
Not that we're going to start a war, but I think people are going to get fed up. And I think, there was riots in the street how many years ago? Crazy everywhere. And I think that could happen again, maybe on a bigger scale.
But also, like even like you mentioned, Minneapolis, the George Floyd thing, that was all set up too.
How was that set up?
That police officer didn't have his knee on the neck.
Did you see the video?
No, I didn't see the video.
Facts typically irritate Trump supporters. The truth is usually a gateway to aggravation for them because they are emotionally invested in their own delusional thinking. Information that challenges their belief system causes discomfort because they have trouble with change. No one in particular likes to have their pride questioned or to be proven wrong about things. Some folks go to extremes to defend their fragile egos with big blustery trash talk. Oppositional defiance and entitled arrogance is what sets the Trump faithful apart. So when Michael Shure asked if they had any liberal friends, it wasn't surprising that they said no.
Do you have any liberal friends?
No.
If you were at a diner and a liberal came up and sat next to you and had a cup of coffee and you wanted to convince him of why Trump is great, what would you tell him?
I'd probably show him how our military went down since Joe Biden was in and how it went up when Trump was in.
What do you mean by up and down with the military?
The build of it. Like now they say that we can't even hardly fight a war with China anymore. And I feel when Trump was in, we practically had China down to their knees, not knowing what to do because we held the food from them and Joe Biden gives them anything they want.
Are we in a war with China, though?
No, not necessarily.
What could that liberal convince you of that maybe you think that, well, maybe I could be moved on this issue, or I think that, Biden did a good thing here?
I don't know.
The truth is that most of these clowns don't have any friends. They are delusional morons that can't admit the possibility of ever being wrong, and no one wants to be around them. Hell, they can't even stand themselves on most days. These folks always seem to have a chip on their shoulder. They don't handle authority well and seem to be filled with unresolved resentment of some kind. The Trump cult is basically stuck on stupid. It's said that misery loves company. Well, it's the same with stupidity. Trump rallies attract the underbelly of society, and they come from miles around out of devotion to the Orange Menace. Donald Trump loves the undereducated, and it's obviously why. These are the same people who relate to Donald Trump on a third grade level. They look up to him because he gives them the permission to be the worst versions of themselves that they can possibly be. Donald Trump never admits the possibility of ever being wrong about anything. He's a narcissistic bully who has never been held accountable before. Now that he's facing prison, he's desperate to win at all costs because he thinks that he will escape justice if he does. He has his minions believing that his legal problems are political interference from Democrats, and they are stupid enough to believe it. Whenever Michael Shure asks one of the jackaloons to elaborate, they fail miserably. Every one of these clowns wants to complain about the economy, but they are happy to shell out their hard-earned money for souvenirs that aren't even made in America. What a bunch of complicit buffoons, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.